Hello, everyone. This morning on Plugged Into DFW, we discuss the health issues that our children are facing. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Molestina. Here today are healthcare professionals who will break down how diet and child behavior problems could be related in now well-intended phrases like good job or I'm proud of you. It could be doing more harm than good for your child's mental health, and how working up close on electronic devices could compromise eye health. But we start with the rise in childhood obesity, and here to discuss this is board-certified family medicine physician, Dr. James Pinkney, and you have asked us to call you Dr. James.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on the show.
Well, thanks for being here. First and foremost, just how prevalent is this issue of childhood obesity?
Well, childhood obesity has actually risen, quadrupled in adolescents and doubled in children over the last 30 years. Right now, 1/3 of all children and adolescents are either overweight or obese. So this is a major problem that we need to look at and figure out a way to rectify.
Is it being categorized as an epidemic?
You know, obesity in general is an epidemic for adults, with adults being almost 50% either overweight or obese. With children, I don't think it's quite an epidemic, but it is on the rise, and we do need to look at how we can reverse the trends.
For folks who may not be too familiar with the actual the category of obesity, what exactly are we talking about? How do you define that versus, you know, just overweight?
Well, for children, obesity is defined as excess body fat, and overweight is excess body weight. It can be water, bones, muscle, and fat. So obesity, fat, overweight, all the body tissues.
Do we see this in particular sort of subsegments of our population? Is there an ethnic breakdown, a geographical breakdown of where we see more of these cases?
You know, we do. There are cultural differences with Hispanics and African Americans. We do see a higher level of obesity than with Caucasians. So definitely it's a cultural incidence with the foods that we eat. And again, it's about exercise and it's about diet.
Sure, and clearly, I mean, like you said, I mean, that's something that we see throughout the Metroplex here in DFW. Let's talk a little bit about what's causing all of this. What's causing it, and where has the change happened?
Well, you know, the food industry is injecting mass quantities of fat, salt, and sugar in the American diet. With convenient fast food restaurants on every corner, parents can now have a convenient low-cost meal that is no longer high in nutrients and low in calories, but the opposite, high in calories and nutrient deficient.
How do you fight that? I mean, you know, it sounds like it's an uphill battle.
Yeah, it's a tough
so many
problem.
places. Yeah.
I would encourage families to reinvigorate the family meal. You know, sit down for dinner, involve your kids in food preparation, involve the kids in the actual meal itself, sit down at the table, no technology, turn off the TV, have a conversation, and utilize portion control as well as nutrient-dense foods. You know, 5 servings of fruits and vegetables per day, cut back on the carbohydrate, cut back on the sugar, eliminate sugary beverages. That's a huge deal right now. Those are some simple tips that you can implement.
It sounds like just sticking to the basics, the things that we've always been told since kids, and our parents were told, and maybe our grandparents, you know, eat your healthy vegetables and drink a lot of water. I mean, could that make that much of a difference?
Oh, it does. And then we have to address the activity side as well. I recommend at least 60 minutes of physical activity every day for our children. And I hear that they're trying to take recess out of schools. You know, I'm not a proponent of that. You know, our kids need to exercise, and when they get home, limit screen time to no more than 2 hours per day.
Okay. Let's assume, though, that there's a family whose children just aren't, this isn't the type of activity that they partake in. At what point should the red flags start to sort of go up in the child's appearance, in their performance overall? Well,
then, you know, they should be getting an annual physical at their pediatrician or their family doctor. So if the physician says, hey, look, you know, we're having some weight issues, their growth chart is a little bit skewed, then you need to address things. And we don't ask kids to lose weight. We simply focus on behavior modification and allow their growth to kind of curb their body composition deficiencies.
Okay. If there are families out there who might need a little help reaching some of these points that you're talking about, what kind of resources are available for families, you know, who may be battling this?
Yeah, there's lots of resources out there. You can use search engines to look for healthy meal plans, look for exercise activities that you can work on at home. So there's lots of resources out there on the internet. So I encourage you to use technology to find perfect plans for your family that you can integrate into to your lifestyle.
Now, Dr. James, I hear you loud and clear what you're saying here, but there still may be some families out there who say, you know what, the reality is it's just a lot cheaper, a lot quicker. Like you said earlier, just to go by a drive-through. You know, nothing you can say right now is really going to change that. What would be your pitch to these families who are just kind of stuck in that area, who know better, but for whatever reason, they just can't do better?
This is your child's future. We know that studies have shown that when you are obese as a child, your likelihood of being obese as an adult raises dramatically. So you're going to be at risk for heart disease, diabetes, high cholesterol, cancer. So look at your child and say, look, if I don't make a difference now, they're going to grow up and have major health issues down the line. So I know all the parents, they care about their kids, and they have to be accountable as well. So we all have to eat healthy together, exercise together, truly reinvigorate that family unit, and that's how we can make a difference.
You're right, some major health issues if we don't take care of this at an early stage. Exactly. Dr. James, I appreciate you being here with us this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for being here once again. Coming up next, we've got cell phones, we've got mobile devices, we've got tablets. It's all out there, right? Well, did you know that they can cause digital eye strain and maybe even lead to your child needing glasses?